This is Bits and Bots for Business, the podcast about technology, systems, human ingenuity and automation. From apps to AI, e-commerce to emails, we talk about it all. I'm Stephanie Gadden, global citizen, technologist and curious human being. I'm so excited to bring you episode 1. This episode features a conversation with Lindy Hughson, the managing editor of PKN News and Print21 News. I'm going to leave the rest of the introductions to the recorded episode. Here goes. Let's introduce the fabulous Lindy Hughson. So Lindy is the managing editor, publisher of PKN.
Both.
Is that right?
Both.
Managing editor and publisher of PKN. She's also the president of the International Packaging
Press organization.
I always forget the second P. I'm so sorry. The IPPO. Incredible expertise across packaging and that segment of our industry, and someone I've known for a few years and have a lot of respect for. So thank you so much for joining us, Lindy. It's wonderful to have you on for us.
And yes. Nice to see you again, Deborah. I met you several years ago at one of the things I always see you around.
I think I met you at PrintX in Australia.
Yes.
I remember you.
Yeah.
We were talking about two sides. I just
exactly.
Yes,
that was it.
That was it.
I remember.
Yes. So I'm going to just say one more thing, please.
Yes.
Just one more thing.
Oh,
I'm going to just
so
butter you up a little bit more. I'm very annoying, I know. In my opinion, and across Australia, Lindy is actually one of the most respected voices in our packaging sector, and across many things. She has a global perspective on innovation and technology and sustainability, and just one of those people that just is so on the nose with everything and across so many things. I think you are just incredible, as I've said to every guest I've asked on today. So thank you again for joining us. I just had to say that and get that in there before we go deep diving, because I think we will not be able to stop talking. So over to you, Lindy. You were going to say something before I so rudely interrupted you.
I was going to also say that, happy International Print Day.
Happy International Print Day.
Is a very exciting time for me in my the evolution of the stuff that I cover, because I am also now the managing editor and publisher of Print21. So I was always the publisher, but we've had one of our key members retire. And so I'm taking on more of an editorial participation, let's say, on that platform. And it comes at the perfect time with this intersection between print and packaging becoming closer. So many more commercial printers now looking to packaging as a way to develop their businesses, expand their businesses, and I'll come to some examples on that. But also noting that the last Interpack had more printing people exhibiting, and the last Drupa had very much a packaging focus. So really, we speak all the time about that growth and that innovation and that possibility happening on the packaging platform or the packaging level for printers. And just going to what your previous guest, Rowena, was saying as well, I get excited by the brand in the hand, because that is really the packaging and print interface.
Yes.
And the interface with the consumer as well. I mean, things like this little can here, simple here, but this is an example of what some of the innovation going on in the Australian market right now that's very exciting to me is the direct to shape, direct to object printing. And we've had several breakthroughs in the last little while. We've seen an uptick in innovation on direct to can. Aurora has made a massive investment here in its Helio digital printing system. We've had players like OnPack pivoting their business with direct to can printing and increasing their revenue by 200%, according to the MD. We've got on the end of the spectrum, this is an example from East Coast Canning and Printing with their bulletproof digital printing innovation. And that's just in beverage cans. But we've also got it happening on an industrial scale. We've got NCI, a big metal can producer, large cans and small, and also in the aerosol space, about to launch or to commission their new digital printing line. So that stuff excites me because it tells me exactly what Rowena was saying. Let's get creative again. Let's forget about the mass, because digital is enabling so much for us in that space. And it's also, we don't want to really dwell too much on sustainability, but it is also talking the sustainability language by what it allows, the optimization and the efficiencies. So I don't think I'm rattling on there, but
no, that's all so very interesting. Deborah and I are sitting and nodding and nodding and going,
I'm just like, no,
keep going, keep going. Yes.
Yes. I took notes. I have talking points already.
Okay, good.
So you were at Label Expo in Barcelona.
I wasn't.
No, you weren't.
I alluded to, I had to pull out at the 11th hour, which is
of course
devastating to me. I have just a small hitch going on with me.
Yep.
And couldn't I couldn't do that long haul flight. So I wasn't there. I've been following what was going on.
Yeah.
Had one of our commissioned writers feeding me info. So
beautiful. So what would you say were the standout themes and technologies that came out of Label Expo for this year?
From what I can see, it was automation and sustainability that were dominant. We are starting to see the first signs of AI integration in print technology, cloud-linked workflows, connecting presses across sites for smarter production. And this is mirrored by what I've been seeing at packaging trade shows, where we see the smart factory, everything integrated, everything talking, machine language talking, everything into that HMI, the interface. So making it really simple to manage the processes and automating it to the extent that less people are needing to be involved, and they can then be more involved in the creative processes, hopefully. So, and then AI-driven interfaces predicting maintenance and quality outcomes before the issues occur. So that's, again, that talking to that efficiency point. And then the launch of digital and hybrid presses, enabling converters to scale sustainably. So that points to a more vibrant, globally connected sector that continues to evolve and innovate. And Label Expo, as you know, now so much more than just labels.
They much changed the name to that. Loop to include packaging.
I know. I don't quite get that, but I think there were
labels, something packing, like it actually stands for something. But I
think it's embellishment is include. As well.
There was a press release. I don't remember, but I hosted the theater for Label Expo at Label Expo. So I was they made the announcement there too.
Well, it is done and dusted. Apparently it's met with mixed reception. The name itself, but
the name itself,
people don't like change. Eh?
Correct.
So nobody likes to change.
However, I don't disagree that the change was needed, because it used to just be labels, and now it's not anymore. And to your point about the hybrid presses, the more fascinating ones to me are the ones that do labels and flexible packaging. I mean, you have an entire ecosystem of business in one press. I mean, it's incredible.
And I'd say I shouldn't speak about one particular client, but I would say that HP Indigo has been very instrumental in driving that shift, enabling labels and packaging printing on the one machine. Certainly in this market, we've seen that for
it was actually
quite some time.
Their press I was referring to. So yes.
Okay.
That's fabulous, because I'll segue. No,
HP's my best friends. You can talk about HP all you want.
You can talk about HP, because the next segment after this, we're going to talk about the Women in Print Scholarship on the HP. So,
but we love HP. They take me. They take me everywhere. So I've been to Label Expo with them 1,000,000 times.
Some other sort of things I wanted to touch on, if I may.
Yes.
At the AI in packaging and what's happening here in the local market. We've just had, it doesn't necessarily relate directly to printing, except that it's image-based. So a company called Phantom this last week has launched an image recognition platform using AI, it's called Phantom AI, to convert packaging visuals into structured data. So that allows people to then, I mean FMCG brand owners, CPG for Deborah, to quickly identify cost and waste reduction opportunities. So it will look at the pack and visually say, okay, that's a metal can, or an aluminum can. These are the specs typically for this size. And very quickly, for things like data that's for reporting to Australian Packaging Covenant Organisation, reporting that's required, but also beyond that. And the driver here, and by using AI, is to allow ease of engagement and to make it simple for brands to capture and act on that packaging data. And so it comes from the printed product, whichever way we look at it, it requires a printed product. So that's a powerful enabler for sustainable decision making. And what else can I talk about? Oh, the other thing that's also, it kind of leans into track and trace and printed electronics. So RFID, when RFID was first launched, everyone went, oh, this is the answer to everything. And then it was too expensive. And then it took a while to find its way forward. Now, at the end of the month here in Australia, Avery Dennison, a big label player, also an exhibitor at Label Expo, is going to be launching its RFID Experience Lab, or opening that up. And this is going to demonstrate how RFID and data platforms can assign a unique digital identity to every product, which really opens the door, the spectrum, to being able to track and trace materials in that sustainable, in the recycling stream. So, but again, that partly is printed electronics. So again, we come back to the importance of print. And the other thing I wanted to just touch on is 2D barcodes. Again, a printed outcome, and its ability to connect packaging, to connect the data to make track and trace but more than track and trace. It's just a door-to-door, end-to-end source of data through that one simple printed code. It will transform supply chains and empower consumers with product information and sustainability data in real time. And big retailers like Woolworths, of course in other markets too, but here Woolworths in particular has really led the transformation in terms of the adoption of 2D codes.
Amazing.
I'm probably rattling on too much. Hey?
No, you're not.
No.
Can
Deborah's got some questions. Go.
Okay.
Yes.
Get ready. I'm a compound question.
Oh, dear.
Okay. So I don't know if this affects you, but the sustainability talk at Label Expo was terrifying. It was all about the digital product passports, which is a little bit about what you're describing, but now that's the name it has. So
yes,
anybody who's printing anything in the EU starting next year has to be able to prove where every single thing in it came from. Digital product passports. Then they had this thing called PPWR, which I don't know what the acronym is. Do you know what it is? It's
packaging horrible. And packaging waste regulation.
Yeah. That might be the scariest thing I ever heard in my life. Is that going to, maybe you can tell people what it is, because I'm obviously not explaining it. And is it going to come to Australia?
No, well, I mean, not per se, but I think Australia will take the lead from some of the directives that are in that PPWR. So there's a lot of education going on here in the Australian market so that companies understand what PPWR encompasses. I'm not across every little detail, but certainly anybody who is considering what potential regulations might come into Australia. We are sitting here in a state of limbo at the moment, Deborah. We've had our voluntary industry body, APPO, recommending a direction to government. Government has been gathering information and kind of indicating that there will be reform on the cards, that it is going to be making mandates around recycled content, making mandates or sort of regulating around extended producer responsibility. It will definitely be looking to Europe's example. We take more lead from Europe in Australia in terms of that kind of regulation or guideline than we do, say, from the United States. And the United States really has different regulations in each state. And so you've got some states like California raising the bar, and then people rolling out that elevated level of sustainability because they may as well if they're producing for the whole United States. PPWR is something everybody should be keeping their eye on. It's very sustainability summit in Europe. It had just started kicking off, and there are some grave concerns for a lot of material providers. So what they're going to have to be looking at is where the early days success stories are and where not. Now, we don't have digital product passport being talked about here, Deborah, but companies like Phantom AI have developed this tool specifically with digital product passport in mind.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's what reminded me of it, the way what you were describing. I'm like, that's that digital product, very similar to what they were talking about at Label Expo. The other thing is, I want to tell you about something I saw at Label Expo that I thought was amazing, and I've already incorporated it. I've been talking about this all day, but I'm going to keep talking about it. So it's a dynamic QR code, which I didn't know what a dynamic QR code it was. And if anyone else out there doesn't, it's a QR code that you can print, and on the back end, you could update it all you want. It doesn't have to be exactly the code, and it can't change. So if somebody types a website wrong, you're in big trouble, So you can update whatever it's linking to at any point in time. But the company that presented about their product was called Digital Link. And they have created a dynamic QR code that when you scan it, it leads to a virtual assistant who, let's just use a wine label as an example. You scan it, you get a little information, and then there's literally an AI interface in it. And you can say, tell me about the place that the wine, the grapes grow. Tell me about the family that owns the winery. Tell me if this wine can work with fish. Tell me if there's something that I'm allergic to in this wine that I might not be aware of. Tell me about this part of my insurance policy only. Tell me, anything you can imagine, all those gluten people, I know somebody who said they were allergic to eggs. And I'm like, that's weird. But I'm thinking, okay, so don't eat eggs. And she's like, you have no idea how many things have eggs that you have no idea. And she's like, salad dressing. I was like, salad dressing doesn't. What are you talking about? We're at a restaurant. She says, does the salad dressing have eggs in it? The waiter comes back. He goes, yes, it does. I'm like, I'm done. So she would need it for everything because a lot of times people don't realize that there are actually eggs in very weird, there's eggs in a lot of things, people. I'm just telling you. So this to me is the answer to everything because you can interact with your product and get its own expert on it. It's amazing.
So that digital link, is that GS1's digital link? Because the 2D barcode and GS1 working together.
Correct. And they work together.
With digital link. GS1. Okay.
GS1.
So yes, that is. Yeah. That is what they mean. That 2D barcode is a dynamic barcode.
The one that you talked about that you can update. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this one has a AI virtual assistant that has been trained on the thing that it's attached to. So
It
I
makes
don't have to
sense.
go online anymore. I don't have to, I could be in the liquor store and saying, okay, they're going to serve leg of lamb and something, and just go scanning around until you find the right one. That's probably a bad example, but you could scan it and say, does this work with lamb? Does this
What's
work
in this
with
thing? Yep.
Yes, and by the way,
that's all.
some of them work with salad. I mean, who knew that you could?
That reinforces that print consumer engagement piece, doesn't it? But at the
Yes,
same time, you
absolutely.
can be sure that while this is happening, that little AI guy is gathering all kinds of data as well. And it's all pooling back into the data that's saying geographically the product was bought here, and the bottle and the label and all of that, where it's going to end up. So that is the depth and scope of a 2D barcode,
But
2D code.
Amazing.
Beyond that, even we're talking about smart printing. You can find out where people. Well, you said where, but who? Who's buying it, or even more important, what are the questions that they're asking? And there's the opportunity for marketing to come in and maybe get people further down the sales funnel by saying, okay, everyone keeps asking us about X. Let's do a piece on X so they're not asking about X anymore, and we get them pre-educated to the next step. You know what I mean? There's just so much you can do with that information. Anyhow, I just wanted to mention those two things, and I'm sorry you didn't go to label.
That's great. I'm so sorry I missed label
No. Yep. Carry on.
From my position at the International Packaging Press Organization, we can certainly see from the journalists and how we communicate, we see how interconnected the global print and packaging communities are. And this is really great to have this conversation here today. So, but of course, the same forces are at play. So it's that push for sustainable materials, the transparent supply chain, and smarter technologies, all enabled by print platforms. We hopefully at IPPO will continue to report on this type of change and link in with people like yourselves to keep that information fresh.
Beautiful.
Are you seeing?
I might throw.
Can I go one more? Just one more, and then I promise.
Yes, you
I'll
can
stop.
go one more, Deborah.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I'm becoming completely obsessed with flexible packaging and the ease of recyclability of it, because it's plastic, it goes in the bin. And I know everyone's like, plastic.
Oh, this is my pet subject.
Oh, really? Is in a good way?
Oh, here we go.
On the other side of this? Or are you on
in a good way.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what's happening, the developments, the advances that are happening here in this market for soft plastics. We call it soft plastics here. Yeah.
Okay, so I will let you go. I just want to say that the way I approach anything that I do is what is happening in the world and how do people react, how do people handle things? Like I'm always like, why can I order a pizza and I know everything about it, but I order a piece of print and it goes into some black hole and then I get a call if there's a problem, whatever it might be. But please take it away from there.
Let me take it away. Okay, so we know flexible packaging format is from an LCA point of view, sometimes definitely, most often
what
the
is
very
LCA?
best. Life cycle analysis. Okay. So from a sustainability perspective, even though glass might be infinitely more recyclable and cans and all the rest, sometimes the plastic pouch is still the best choice.
Thank you.
Because it's lightweight, and especially now that Europe, PPWR, is mandating mono-material, it is making it possible for that previously hard to recycle multi-laminate product, now a mono material, to be recycled more easily in both mechanical and chemical recycling streams. And now we also have here in this market a new enzymatic recycling option that's opening up. So we have for some time only been recycling very small amounts of soft plastics in this market, but exciting developments now finally are coming into play. We have, on the one hand, a coordinated body that is organizing for national curbside collection of people's soft plastics and also store-wide collection. So you can have some choices. It isn't fully rolled out, but we're in high end of trials. We're in the back end of the trial stage. We've got a mechanical recycling factory on stream that has proven to be able to recreate materials in different grades from that soft plastic, the original post-consumer material, into plastic polymer that can be remanufactured back into packaging or into paving bricks or into shred that can be used for something else. So
asphalt, some of them turn it into asphalt, like put it in there.
So mechanical recycling proven, and it can scale up. And we are at an advanced stage with chemical recycling. Facilities are being developed and built. Again, the difficulty is going to be to scale up, but feasibility studies are being done by big players like Viva Energy, which was LyondellBasell. You'd probably know that company's name. And we've got smaller scale, but still ability to scale up. We've got a facility that's underway that should be on stream by next year. And then we've got a new facility that's launched in enzymatic recycling, which, as I understand it, breaks it right down to its basics. So we've got pyrolysis on the one hand with the chemical recycling, we've got the mechanical breaking down, but then there's also enzymatic recycling, which is, I think Australia's is pioneering that. Really so cool. I am very, very hopeful.
Me too.
I'm not saying that we have the answer right now, but we are now able to get back into collecting the material, because before we were collecting it, it was unfortunately didn't find its way to being recycled because of infrastructure capacity.
Misunderstandings too. There's a lot of misunderstandings on the ground there.
But now I'm super hopeful about that. We're moving forward now at pace.
And the sustainability story around flexible packaging is wide, starting with you can fit more in a box. You could fit more on a shelf. That means less stuff flying and driving and stocking shelves, because you can put more on it. And I can tell you, in my grocery store, cucumbers come in flexible packaging now. I don't know why, but I'm like, a bag. Oh, you do know why? Why? Why are they in a bag?
Oh, well, because they would be in. Oh, sorry, no, but
no, go.
I've never seen them in a pouch yet, but certainly always wrapped, because their rate of
we have English cucumbers, we call them, that are wrapped. Then we have the regular cucumbers that just sit there and look like crazy, like giant pickles. But these things are cucumbers in a bag. 5 in a bag. Okay. I don't know. Peppers in a bag, potatoes in a bag. Everything's coming in a bag now. Fresh vegetables that you can microwave in the bag. I mean, I just look around me and I see flexible packaging everywhere.
And there's also, of course, the paper lookalike, or the paper-based, or the paper.
Correct, that's coming, yes.
Flexible paper as well coming through. And we're seeing that in paper bags for potatoes, all printed on flexible lines.
It's incredible.
Well. Yep. But I think our time is up here with me, hey?
Yes, we're coming through to the end of the segment.
Everybody have a time limit? She's so mean.
They don't. Well, Lindy, you can stay on as long as you like. You got to go. You got a dedeadline, I know.
I'm sorry.
Lindy's on
deadline.
deadline.
I derailed the conversation, but I love
not at all. That was fabulous. That was amazing. So I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us, Lindy.
You.
It was lovely to have you on and speaking.
Did you say good day coming and going? Is that proper? Good day?
Good day. Yep.
Okay,
see you later.
See you later. See ya.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can subscribe at rockingrose.technology for all the latest news and technology information. Thanks for listening.